To prepare and produce a detailed working document or documents that would guide the incoming cabinet members on the direction of government regarding policies, programs, and projects.
Ahead of inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari for second term in office, federal government inaugurates 15-man committee to audit its administration's policy and projects implementation for improved performance.
That the 9th Assembly is going to be very robust, is going to be very united.
Senators-elect pledge good working relationship with the executive arm as presidential aide urges 8th Assembly to accelerate passage of 2019 approach.
We're delighted to be able to formalize this bilateral relationship and to capture our cooperation more directly.
Nigeria and United Nations enter a new agreement on tackling HIV/AIDS at a time the federal government re-strategizes to improve response to the disease. Good evening and a warm welcome to NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Jumma Yusuf. Reading with me tonight is Jennifer Igwe in Lagos and Kemi Oshin in Ibadan. Now, preparatory to the inauguration of a new administration, the federal government has constituted a 15-member policy, programs and audit committee headed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
At the inauguration of the Audit Committee, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo underscores the need for a concrete preparation for the takeoff of a new cabinet beginning from May 29, 2019.
In accordance with its terms of reference, the committee is to do the following. 1, to audit and determine the status of implementation of policies, programs, and projects, either inherited or commenced by the outgoing administration. 2, to identify and highlight the residue of works and challenges that may militate against their successful implementation. And 3, to prepare and produce a detailed working document and or documents that would guide the incoming cabinet members on the direction of government regarding policies, programs, and projects. To co-opt any organizations or persons relevant towards the successful execution of the program, and to make any other recommendations as may be considered necessary.
President Muhammadu Buhari recently approved the establishment of the Policies, Programs and Projects Audit Committee with a view to taking stock of the administration's performance thus far. As Vice President Osinbajo explains, the plan is for the team to prepare a working document for incoming ministers.
The committee will also ensure that we have objective reports, very critical analysis and realistic projections, all of which will constitute clear guidelines for each cabinet minister. We will focus on ensuring that we have for the incoming cabinet a clear presentation, ministry by ministry, on what government needs to do, the challenges to be envisaged, and the implementation plan.
Present at the inauguration are the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma Udoma, and the Minister of Power Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, as well as Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Audu Ogbe, National Security Advisor, Babagana Mungunu, and the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu. They are to serve as members of the committee with 8 others who are represented at this event. The Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ade Ipaye, will serve as Secretary to the committee. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the continued trust and support of the people are crucial to achieving set goals by the Buhari administration. The Vice President, as an appreciation dinner for volunteers during the 2019 elections campaign, thanked Nigerians for their belief in the president, giving him the mandate to serve for a second term. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo emphasized that their trust will not be betrayed as the administration is more determined to meet the expectations of all Nigerians. Again, Jide Onifadi reports.
We're supposed to be offering these people comfort, offering them succor, offering them hope. But they themselves are so hopeful. They are the ones who are even offering the support, offering all of the comfort and, offering us all of their love and everything that...
The Vice President recounting the numerous shows of love and kindness he received from Nigerians as he went about every nook and cranny of the country during the campaign towards the 2019 elections.
Say a very big thank you to the Nigerian people for the contributions that they made to bringing us here.
The lesson from these interactions with Nigerians, as the Vice President says, is that the leaders must find a way of connecting to the people they serve. This, he says, the administration would do in this second coming and get the people more involved and well informed of activities and achievements of government. The Vice President says Nigerians are right in their belief that the Buhari administration is what the country needs at this time, stressing that the nation would progress faster with a leader that is honest.
Business of doing the right thing, of governing right, is not rocket science. If the president is an honest man, as we have an honest man, everything we want done will be done. And I believe very strongly that with your support, with your continued support, all of what we wish, all of what we want for our country will be done. And by the grace of God, every one of the infrastructure projects that we want done will be done. Our economy will turn around and we will see prosperity in this great nation of ours by the grace of God.
He urged the people to work harder towards achieving success in the rerun elections coming up on the 23rd of March. For retired General Buba Marwa and others, appreciation also goes to the president and all those involved in the cause of moving the country forward.
We can only wish our leadership God's continued blessings and guidance and peace and prosperity for Nigeria.
It is imperative that certain reforms, such as electoral reforms, internal party reforms, and judicial reforms, are undertaken to give the good people of this country a fighting chance.
As this gift indicates, the people expect more goals to be achieved from the government in coming years and promised their continued support for the Buhari administration. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifadi, NT News.
And senators-elect have assured Nigerians of a good working relationship with the executive arm of government in the 9th Assembly. This came to the fore during a familiarization dinner organized for the new legislatures. Ignatius Unko reports.
About 10 o'clock in the morning of Thursday, 14th of March 2019, senators-elect were at the International Conference Center, Abuja, to collect their certificate of return. 9 hours later, it was time to dine and wine together. For the new ones, it was a first get-together, and to the serving senators, it was a continuation of a tradition. To the new entrants into the Red Chamber, it was a time for familiarization with the old tenants. But interestingly, the focus of this evening gathering was on the need for unity of purpose towards national development. Need for cordial working relationship with the executive arm of government in the 9th Assembly was paramount.
I believe that the 9th Assembly is going to be very robust, is going to be very united, because I can see different people from different divides, from different constituencies.
Executive, legislative atmosphere has not been very cordial. So I think by the time we come in, having experienced what it is like to be on the executive side, we'll try our best to see that we bring down the temperature a bit.
That we have a united front so that we can work harmoniously with the executive.
Is to ensure that the interests of Nigerians, the welfare of Nigerians are, primary concern.
And the executive arm of government.
Senate leader Ahmed Lawan shared some of his experiences with his new colleagues.
We should work towards a relationship that will be characterized by consultation, by coordination, by partnership, and serious and deep synergy between the two arms of government.
I think this night Senate should be substantially different from the 8th Senate.
Some serving members used the forum to commend the Senate leader Ahmed Lawan for his exceptional leadership qualities. Ignatius Unko, NTN News.
In another development, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Ita Enang, has advised the National Assembly to give accelerated consideration to the 2019 appropriation bill. He gave this advice when he briefed National Assembly correspondents. The legislative aide expressed concern over the delay in the consideration of some of the items pending in the Senate, especially the medium-term expenditure framework, the national minimum wage bill, and the confirmation of the chairman and members of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
Appropriation bill. Let them also consider as priority the medium-term expenditure framework which they have committed to the committee. And of course, the medium-term expenditure framework is going to be the basis of their determining different parameters that is going to be used in the consideration and passage of the 2019 appropriation. On our part, as the liaison and the executive, that the executive is ready with all their system to come in and defend the budget. Also use opportunity to pray the legislature that the budget of the different government-owned agencies and corporations is still pending before them. And unless this budget of the different agencies are passed, considered and passed, then we still have a lot to lose in terms of opportunities for employment in those ministries and some capital projects which would have inflated the economy and given more people things to do.
Nigeria has formally signed a cooperation agreement with UNAIDS, which will further deepen the collective effort of fighting HIV/AIDS in the country. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Oyema, who signed on behalf of Nigeria, said the agreement comes just after Nigeria announced its latest AIDS indicator and impact survey, which will improve response to the disease. Foreign Desk correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports.
Before now, Nigeria's relationship with the United Nations Programme on HIV/AIDS was on a broader platform of the United Nations. The signing of the cooperation agreement between Nigeria and UNAIDS brings this relationship closer and gives Nigeria more latitude in tackling HIV/AIDS using the UNAIDS platform. Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Oyema says Nigeria remains committed to international partnership in dealing with these challenges.
Hitherto, you've been under the umbrella somewhat of the larger UN body, but I think in recognition also of the status of your organization, we're delighted to be able to formalize this bilateral relationship and to capture our cooperation more directly.
This agreement is very important, and I know it would have never happened without your personal commitment to this issue, your personal commitment to multilateralism, and your commitment to partnership with UNAIDS.
Both parties say they will abide by the letter and spirit of the agreement as they partner to tackle HIV/AIDS. In Abuja, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Thank you, Makut. Nigeria should take advantage of being the largest market in Africa to build cinemas in all nooks and crannies of the country for economic diversification and development, says the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. Adebola Brooks and Sunday reports that this was at a conference on distribution and regulation of films in emerging new markets.
Cinemas in Nigeria expanded and new ones established after Nigeria's independence. As a result, Nigeria's content in the theatre increased in the late 1960s into the 1970s. Organized by the National Film and Video Censors Board in Abuja, it drew participation from within and outside the film industry. Talk heads at the conference centered on how to best regulate the industry without impacting negatively on the business.
The Honorable Minister of Information and
The minister, represented by the permanent secretary in the ministry, Grace Gekwe, believes that more jobs will be created by building more cinemas.
An opportunity to create employment for a lot of our people at the grassroots. If we have these cinemas at that level, because when you build cinema, you are going to create a lot of activities around the cinemas.
To further help protect the interests of movie makers and other players, the board will henceforth give out certificates and licenses with high security features.
So that when you handle it, when you hold it, you know you are holding a certificate that is commensurate or equal to the ones we see abroad. That when you hold it, you know you are holding something from Nigeria, printed in Nigeria. That's the game plan.
The film industry is one gold mine that is waiting to be tapped. A lot of benefit comes with that in terms of economic drive, in terms of socialization, in terms of mobilization of the citizens.
The board is empowered to license, censor and classify all films and video works to be distributed and exhibited in Nigeria. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The world has adjudged Edo State the best in the South-South geopolitical zone of the country in taking concrete steps to revamp technical and vocational education. It has therefore chosen Edo for the pilot of its innovation, development and effectiveness in skill acquisition project. Goodluck Enani reports that Governor Godwin Obaseki has inaugurated a 13-man committee and state steering coordinating unit for effective implementation.
The United Nations, through the World Bank, is supporting the Federal Ministry of Education and some selected states, including Edo, to promote technical and vocational education in Nigeria. Governor Obaseki says he will do all he can to justify the confidence. One area the governor expects the committee to focus more is on the training of teachers.
It's not something that's going to be driven by government alone. That's why we have, the private sector partners in here, because we're preparing people to go and work for them. So they must be on the table, they were on the discussion table as we decide on the type of curriculum, the type of orientation, the type of preparations we give to the
Chairman of the committee and Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Christopher Adesotu, representatives of National Board for Technical Education say the choice of Edo for the project is timely. Edo State is the first among the states selected in the 6 geopolitical zones to have inaugurated a committee for this purpose. In Benin, Goodluck Enani, NTA News.
More reports after this time out. Do stay.
Data. We can't live without it. Share it. Impress with it. Borrow it. Sell with it.
Up here, calm down, breathe.
Celebrate with it. Breathe easy, knowing that with Glow, data is oxygen.
Team huddle. But we lost. Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up.
But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The National Examination Council, NECO, wishes to inform the public the registration for the 2019 National Common Entrance Examination for admission into federal government unity colleges has commenced. Eligibility: final year pupil in primary school who are less than 10 years by September 2019. Registration for the examination is done on the new NECO website, www.neco.gov.ng. Registration fee, 2,500 naira per candidate. Payments are made into NECO TSA account through ATM, instant banking, Paga, pocket money, or direct banking payment. Closing date, 8 April 2019. Examination date, 13th April 2019. For further information, please contact www.neco.gov.ng or any NECO state office nearest to you. Abubakar M. Ghana, announcer.
Sore throat, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in one lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
Everybody dance now.
We are the strongest, no challenge can stop us. Oh Lord, and we are the brightest, no darkness can blind us. We are the strongest.
Malta Guinness is packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness on the go.
Getting around heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes?
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
This is NTA Network News, and reports just reaching us says a 3-story building at Shoboye after Mapo going towards Idi Arere in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, has collapsed. Larry Bele reports.
A 3-story building that collapsed here at Soboye along Idi Arere in Ibadan. And it's a moment of crowd here wondering what could be done. So some are trying to make...
We apologize for the loss of visuals in that report. Meanwhile, demolition of buildings that failed to meet structural test begins in Lagos. We now join Jennifer for details and more.
And a warm welcome to Lagos. The Lagos State government has commenced demolition of 80 buildings at Itafaji. The Secretary, Lagos State Building Control Agency, Tayo Fakolujo, says the building failed structural stability tests. Amakowo reports.
The collapsed building on Itafaji has forced the Lagos State government to take swift actions with regards to other distressed buildings on Lagos Island. Number 60 Freeman Street and 47 Smith Street are among buildings that operatives of the Lagos State Building Control Agency say failed to meet requirements of the structural stability tests.
We're going to be doing 3. This is the second one we are doing now.
Okay, so and where did you start from and where are we now?
We're in Smith. You can see the property. In another 10 minutes, it's going to come down. We have evacuated people from living there. They are the only people there are squatters, and we have removed them. And that's why we are doing the demolition right away.
Some residents expressed worry that owners of some of these buildings had defied earlier warnings by government on the poor state of these structures.
Don't do it just today and leave it just as they have done. Let us know what action you are going to do to destroy that place completely to have no danger.
They appeal for stiffer sanctions on developers behind the erection of poor structures in the state. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
More facts have emerged on the collapsed building at Itafaji, Lagos, as family members of victims and survivors share their experiences with our news crew. Paul Omukago, who has been following development on the incident, tells us more.
Search and rescue operation has officially ended. This is all that is left of number 63 Massey Street, Itafaji.
Ayomide Owolabi, 4 years old, is one of the survivors. He is a pupil of Owen Nursery and Primary School, which was on the top floor before the building collapsed. His father, Sahid Owolabi, says Ayo, as he is fondly called, never intended going to school on the fateful day.
My wife called me back that it was number 8 that they pick out. So they rush him to the Massey Hospital. From Massey Hospital, they transfer him to General Hospital. So we were at the General Hospital since Wednesday.
Moduno Lawa and her 2 children were not at home when the incident occurred. But her husband was not that lucky.
Now only my husband don't die.
Okay. You said the day inside the house, anything happened?
I know they now only on my husband did it.
One of people were there for general, they carry one sack. My brother did inside. I told let me see. Everybody come gather. Say, let him see this. Now his brother, he lost his brother there. They can't open her. I see my brother inside. As then he don't die.
So a year ago, our institute drafted a bill that will stop things like this. No government, state or federal, has taken a concrete action on that bill.
NTA gathered that the building was marked unsafe for human habitation during the administration of former Governor Babatunde Fashola. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
Thank you, Paul. Now, management of Access Bank firmly believes in supporting women to achieve success in their businesses. One of the platforms is the W Power Loan Initiative, targeted at meeting the financial needs of women in business. Amaka Owu reports.
It was a conference to commemorate the International Women's Day. They gathered from all strata of society, especially those inclined to business. Chief Executive Officer, Access Bank, Herbert Mwiwe, says it's time for women to take the pride of place and leverage on the W Power loan, as it provides not only the wherewithal to grow their businesses, but networking opportunities and capacity building platforms.
At least 60 to 70% of SMEs in this country are female-owned businesses. By supporting these women to grow, all right, you're actually getting into the engine of growth for the GDP of our country. And we believe that working with all our other partners, the next couple of years, you're going to see it even happen more.
Other leading members of the bank highlighted strategies by the bank which has deepened women's participation in the financial sector.
We've been able to bring over 500,000 women into the formal financial system in the marketplaces around Nigeria, and that's given them a lot more security. We've been able to help grow their savings, help grow their future for their children.
Women who want to borrow up to 20 million naira can actually borrow from the bank, and they don't have to come with landed property. That is the main reason why I think this product is fantastic.
Panelists and other speakers urge women to key into potentials inherent in digital technology, innovation, and other intuitive knowledge they possess.
We still don't have enough women in the policy arena, making legislation and regulations that affect our lives.
Access Bank also says women should own up to 50% of their businesses, which should have existed for at least 12 months for them to access the W Power loan, payable within 12 to 36 months. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
West Africa Ceramic Limited, a leading manufacturer of standard ceramic tiles, says more than 90% of raw materials used by the company are sourced locally. This implies job creation for Nigerians. The managing director of the company, Bashka Rao, stated this at the Manufacturing and Equipment Expo in Lagos. Kenny Beluge reports.
Established in Nigeria under the name the Royal Ceramics in 1995, West African Ceramics Limited is premium producer of porcelain, vitrified and glazed tiles in West Africa. With more than 2,000 Nigerians on direct employment and over 30,000 involved in the raw material supply, the company says its product can compete globally.
We can compete with the world products. That's why I want to request all Nigerians to use made in Nigeria products, good quality, royal brand of products.
The company assures Nigerians that its state-of-art ceramic tiles factories in Ajakuta and Ogun State will satisfy their desires.
Full marble. Marble means full body. Body made in Nigeria, this one. And we can give the special effects. And this special effects is a permanent and very hard material. And it will not break. And it is a durable and reliable and affordable. So our main aim is reliability in its quality, affordability in its price, and service. 3 we are going to give in all our products.
We will try to see how we can use the resources we have to direct the relevant agencies to make sure that we contribute to job creation, wealth creation in our country.
The company says the 2019 Expo will to a large extent showcase the many products of the company. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Jumai in Abuja after this time out. Stay with us.
Where's your mom?
Today is her toilet day.
What?
Helen!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow you're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with all this, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible!
Challenge?
New ticker Harpic 10X.
Even if you use this solution 10 times, it won't give you the same cleaning like Harpic.
Because its new ticker formulation sticks to the bowl better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow!
New Harpic 10X gives me the freedom from toilet day.
Olúwaṣẹ́gun fún mi. Ṣé mo dúpẹ́ ọmọ àdùn ẹnu.
Àmín.
Ọmọ òní ní kò gbé tí wá kò ń gẹjẹ.
Àmín.
O ò ní kábàámọ̀.
Àmín.
Àbùkù ò ní kàn ẹ́ o.
Àmín ma.
Ayé ò ní rí ẹ mú o.
Àmín.
O ò ní dààmú. O ò ní ṣìrìn.
Àmín.
O ò ní rí mi.
Àmín.
Ó yá wọnú ògo tuntun lọ. Ẹlẹ́dàá mi.
Ẹ tàmí ń kọ́.
Ṣé ìwọ ti rókun tó gbẹ rí? Kò lè gbẹ́ bí.
Àmín ma.
Àwọn ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ní àtàwọn
Ó
ọ̀rẹ́.
yá fi sí spíkà. Ọlọ́run á ràn yín lọ́wọ́, ẹ̀yin náà lè ṣerú ẹ̀ fáwọn.
Get 5 times your recharge value to call all networks without restrictions. Recharge and dial *234# to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing customers.
Ìwọ náà borí ẹ̀ wá kó wá gbàdúrà, á dáa fún ẹ. Ṣé orí bó.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child. As he sweats, he'll risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection. Give me the value pack. Helen! You do great value shopping. Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value. Then you must have bought the Harpic 200 ml. Why Harpic when I have this? Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet. Impossible. Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Harpic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go. Wow.
Harpic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular, and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons.
You are watching NTA Network News. Now, participants of Executive Intelligence Management Course 12 have been mandated to provide workable solution to migration issues and farmer-herdsman conflict across sub-Saharan countries. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, in a message, also reminded the participants of their professional advice that will go a long way to address such issues in the region. Ahmed reports.
Today, many enlightened Africans are daily embarking on unguided journeys to Europe seeking greener pasture that may not exist. To address this modern trend and its challenges, the Executive Management course was put in place with top security experts as participants. The Permanent Secretary Special Services in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Amina Shamaki, who stood in for the SGF, while acknowledging the relevance of the course, which seeks to address transnational migration issues, reminded them of their assignment in curbing this societal menace.
To the often held belief that poverty is the main driver of immigration, the present government has embarked on various development efforts which should discourage the crave for seeking greener pastures in developed countries, and for ensuring rapid growth and economic development.
Course participants are drawn from 24 security and paramilitary agencies and 4 foreign nationals undertaking key study on migration-related issues and its effect to the economies of African countries. Ahmed, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Air Force is intensifying training of special forces and production of firearms for the defense of air assets and the nation. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, said this at the graduation of Air Special Forces in Kaduna. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun reports.
The trainees for the 4th Special Forces Course 2019, who reported on 7th of January this year, are the first batch trained by Nigerian instructors in special operations. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar acknowledged their expertise as an indication of the substantial progress made by the Nigerian Air Force. The special forces are coming as a moral booster to the Nigerian Air Force operations.
We are very confident, we are very happy with the progress we have recorded in terms of building capacity for force protection. Air Force is about projecting air power, but you must have the means to protect the assets. And the Special Forces training that you are seeing here is geared primarily towards ensuring that the process of projecting air power is enhanced and is also protected. We have a force that can protect it.
The training equipped participants with most specialized skills for national defense. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
The Ekiti State Government has commenced implementation of its Electricity Regulation Act to boost economic and social development. Kola Adebubwe quotes the governor as saying jail terms and heavy sanctions awaits offenders.
With nearly 30 to 50% of energy distributed to customers lost to energy theft, which is manifested in form of illegal connections and vandalism of power infrastructures, including transformers, feeder pillars, electricity cable stealing, hanging of wire and bypass of meters, the Ekiti State government came up with the Electricity Regulation Act with the legislative passage and the executive approval seeking to curb and deter illegal and unauthorized use of regulated electricity supply, as well as protect electricity infrastructure. Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi and the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Benin Electricity Company, Mrs. Funke Oshimpodu, believe the inauguration and launch of the Regulatory Act will go a long way at enhancing power supply to consumers, for social and economic development.
The regulation arising from the 2015 State Electricity Regulation Law.
We've been partnering with the state government to sanction when we identify such theft, such customers who steal our energy.
The state government and the electricity company are expected to work with security agencies and judiciary for implementation of the act at checkmating the cankerworms affecting the power sector energy theft. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NT News.
Ex-agitators in the Niger Delta are urging peace in the region in order to sustain ongoing efforts towards entrenching development in the area. They said this while reacting to the recent invasion of the vocational training center in Kayama by some unidentified hoodlums who looted and vandalized the facility.
In addition to that criminality, we come to realize that there is a perceived, intentional, deliberate attempt to smear the image, character, and the name of the professor, Dokmo, who is in charge of the amnesty program. And we condemn it in totality. The amnesty program has come to stay to salvage the issues that have brought us backward.
Also, what we are seeing is giving a bad names to our various communities, particularly Kayama.
Meanwhile, the special advisor to the president on Niger Delta and coordinator of the presidential amnesty program, Charles Dokubo, has visited the scene where he expressed disappointment and pledged to bring the perpetrators to justice.
Only that government has spent all these years to give them ways to maintain themselves and to work themselves up so that they could be citizens of this great country. But what a waste. If they continue to do this thing, the problem will not be that the government did not help Niger Delta, but the Niger Delta people destroyed their own thing.
Joseph Johnson reports that investigations are ongoing. With the influx of Cameroonian refugees into Nigeria, providing for their daily needs has become an onerous task for the federal government. It is against this backdrop that the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants
was a success.
To commend the INEC that we enter a partnership with that engage us in the movement of this electoral material across the nation.
He, however, congratulated winners of the election as well as the Independent National Electoral Commission and security agencies for exhibited professionalism during the elections. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
And now Kemi is standing by in Ibadan with an update on the collapsed building with more stories. Over to you, Kemi.
Thank you, Jume, and welcome to Ibadan. We told you earlier that a 3-story building along Shoboye Molite Road in Ibadan collapsed tonight, with people around the area making frantic efforts to pull victims out of the rubble. Larry Bilei has the situation reports.
This is a 3-story building that collapsed here at Soboye along Idiarere in Ibadan. And it's a moment of crowd here wondering what could be done. Though some are trying to pick people out. I was told there are still some people underneath the rubble and they are trying to pick people out. The mumbling right now is that there's no adequate machinery that will help them to pull the people out of the rubble. I have with me here an eyewitness that has been here witnessing the whole issue. When did this start?
The incident started around 6:25 p.m. today. I was around when we just had a very astounding sound, boah. By the time we got to the place, we discovered that the whole building, 3-story building, has been pulled down. And we learned that there are still some site engineers and some bricklayers and workers that are...
What do you want? What is going on right now?
Like, we have been here for over 3 up to 4 hours now. There has never been any response team to come and rescue these people.
But I've seen the firefighter brigade, and they are here. Yeah. People are trying to take people out of the rubble.
People are trying to use manual.
What exactly do you need right now?
We need something like crane and caterpillar.
There are still people under the rubble. Is it
more than 15 people are still trapped under the rubble? So what we need is that we need emergency response team. We need crane, we need caterpillar to come and put the wrecking up so that people can gain access.
People are very angry right now that they need machinery, heavy equipment to pull people out of the rubble, and they are calling on anybody, any individual with this machinery to pull people out. It's back to the studios.
Thank you, Larry. And Oyo State Governor Abiola Ajimobi has promised to support the incoming administration and advised on initiating plans capable of sustaining peace and security in the state. The governor gave the advice when he received the governor-elect Seyi Makinde in his office. Ayomiko Ajibola reports.
While congratulating the governor-elect, Governor Abiola Ajimobi enjoined him to prepare for the onerous task of governance by putting behind him all electioneering acrimonies, urging him to ensure that all stakeholders are carried along in his administration.
Every leader has his own style. He should use the style to leverage on our achievements.
Describing Governor Abiola Ajimobi as a politician by excellence whose name will not be forgotten in the history of the state, the governor-elect says his visit is to solicit the support of the governor for the incoming administration.
No matter the political affiliation, we have something in common, which is the progress and development of Oyo State.
The visit is coming on the heels of Seyi Makinde's declaration as the winner of the Oyo State governorship election. In Ibadan, Ayomiko Ajibola, NTA News.
Thank you, Jume. The news continues in Abuja with Jume.
Thank you so much, Kemi. Another break beckons. Don't go away.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir.
And your shirts are always so white.
I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results.
Shh, it's our little secret.
It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
Thanks for staying with NTA Network News. The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal of the wife of former President Patience Jonathan, seeking to obtain the interim forfeiture order placed on $2.4 billion linked to her in a unanimous judgment. The 7-man panel of justices led by the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, dismissed the appeal for lack of merit. The Apex Court affirmed the concurrent verdicts of the trial and appellate courts on the matter. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in 2017 approached a federal high court sitting in Lagos, alleging that the sum was proceeds of illegal activities kept in the account of a furniture company to cancel it. Recall that the Apex Court last week affirmed the interim forfeiture of $8.4 million traced to the defendant and ordered her to show cause at the trial court, while the money should not be forfeited permanently to the federal government. And the Buhari Media Organization received with excitement the news of the 15% rise in foreign exchange earnings from non-oil export in Nigeria. The organization notes that this is an indication of President Muhammadu Buhari's foresight in diversifying the Nigerian economy. A statement by its chairman, Nii Akinsuju, and Secretary Cassidy Maduke says the expansion in production of agricultural commodities for export and mining are pulling in more foreign exchange for Africa's biggest economy. The pro-Buhari group specifically applauded the Central Bank of Nigeria for its diligent management of the country's foreign exchange earnings and turning the nation's financial account balance with assets of $2,327 million in the period under review against net financial liabilities of $4,650 million recorded in the preceding year. And as government works towards reducing the prevalence of fake and substandard products as well as poor service delivery to the barest minimum, experts in business environment are of the opinion that consumer education is critical to protecting their rights. This view was at a media party in commemoration of the 2019 World Consumer Rights Day in Abuja, with the theme, Trusted Smart Products. Elizabeth Omuri reports.
No doubt, customer satisfaction is a global phenomenon which requires the attention of government, regulators and consumers.
Our gas cylinder at home, we purchase it, but the value is not there. It generated a problem that we could not use it again.
I ordered for a shoe from somewhere, and by the time I got the shoe, it was really bad.
One that happened to me that I was like, is it my phone that is bad or something? Before you know, the data, I don't know if it was on or something, but I know the thing just like that. The thing just left.
Did you complain? Did you call customer service?
No, I didn't.
Sequel to this, every 15th of March is observed as World Consumer Rights Day. It is a day set aside to raise awareness on the need to assist consumers get value for their money whenever they're shortchanged.
It's very important that we recognize what consumer rights are. With the number of years that this has happened, I think consumers are more aware of their rights. But in spite of that, there's still a long way to travel for consumers to truly understand their rights and for them to have the motivation and understand the enforcement mechanisms that are available.
Economic experts at this forum say consumer bond and social media platforms will go a long way in addressing their grievances where companies fail to make refund or replacement.
We shouldn't just keep quiet and just throw away the product and be lamenting. We should voice it out and we should seek redress.
The issue of compliance and terms and conditions was also brought to the fore.
The producer has more knowledge about the product, and therefore we should put obligation on proper disclosure of information. And
with the advent of technology and its attendant challenges, they suggest that consumer legislation in Nigeria be clearly applicable to online transactions in order to prevent cybercrime. They also used the opportunity to call on the Consumer Protection Council, Standards Organization of Nigeria, and other regulatory agencies to improve the feedback mechanism and bridge the gap between unsuspecting buyers and sellers. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Next is sports update with Tamara Ebiwe.
Rugby, for the first time since 2009, has been relisted among the 32 sports set to feature in the 2020 National Sports Festival in Benin, Edo State. This follows the decision of the National Council of Sports after its 3-day meeting in Benin, where it was equally resolved that 27 compulsory and 5 optional sports be slated for the festival, coming up from March 22 till April 2, 2020. The Nigeria Football Coaches Association has elected 13 executive members to run the affairs of the association for the next 4 years. In the annual general meeting, an elective congress held in Abuja Thursday, Coach Ladan Boso of Gombe United was returned unopposed as president, while Rivers United coach Stanley Eguma is the secretary general.
We want to discourage this issue of grassroots coaches. You are a coach, no matter what level. And your performance will now lift you up from under 13 to under 17, from under 17 to under 20.
Pep Guardiola's bid for UEFA Champions League success with Manchester City is set for further scrutiny as they play Tottenham in the quarter-final of the UEFA Champions League. 5-time champions FC Barcelona are at Old Trafford against Manchester United as 2004 champions Porto take on 2005 winners Liverpool. Meanwhile, Arsenal will have a date with Napoli in the UEFA Europa League after the draw on Friday also paired Villarreal against Valencia as Slavia Prague entertained 2013 champions Chelsea. With sports updates, Tamara Ebiwe, NTA News.
And on a sad note, the body of frontline politician and former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, late Chief Joseph Kennedy Wako, has been laid to rest in his country home, Ovir, in Guma local government area of Plateau State. Elias Itvav reports that the ceremony drew sympathizers from across the country who came to pay their last respects.
Makudi, the Benue State capital, stood still as the body of the Wambayao chief, late Senator Joseph Waku, arrived the state and was received by the Toh chief and the state governor for an all-night wake at his legacy house. At the funeral mass, officiating priest Reverend Father Christopher Bulogo, who prayed God to forgive the deceased shortcomings, urged sympathizers to emulate Senator J.K. Nwaku's simplicity.
This man we pray for this morning was different things to different people.
For some sympathizers, the demise of the philanthropist and the pillar of democracy is a painful loss not just to the family, but humanity in general.
It's a very sad thing for us as a nation, the Uchani nation.
Despite where you come from and who you are, you can still make your mark.
The late Senator J.K. Nwaku, who until his demise was the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa, is survived by 2 wives and many children as well as grandchildren. Elias Etiaf, NTA News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Good night.